What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. So I have some breaking news report, man, and that is for according to ESPN, Jeannie Bus is out as Bus family sells last stake to Lakers. This is from Sham Sharania. The Bus family has decided to sell its remaining 17.8% ownership stake in the Lakers to new majority owners Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, sources told ESPN on Monday. Once the transaction is completed, Jeannie Buss will no longer have the required ownership percentage to remain governor because NBA guidelines require controlling owners slash governors to own at least 15% of a franchise. She has been the governor of the Lakers since 2013, taking over after her father, Jerry Buss, died. Family statement says, quote, "We have decided as a family to sell the remaining Bus family trust shares to the Bob Iger Group as part of the ongoing transaction. We love the Lakers, Laker fans, and will continue to support Los Angeles, but it's time to use this opportunity to move on and exit gracefully while we still can." The Bus family trust, composed of siblings Jeannie, Jim, Johnny, Jeannie, Joey, and Jesse. Man, Jerry really loved the letter J, didn't he? Received majority votes to allow trustees to execute the sale. It required 4 of 6 votes to enact the tag-along provision of Mark Walters' sale to Kushner and Iger, which valued the Lakers at $12.5 billion. Last June, the Buss family made the decision to sell to Walter at a valuation of $10 billion, a then record sale for a U.S. professional sports franchise. Multiple Buss siblings, however, felt frustrated at them and misled by Jeannie over what they believed was a rushed sale to Walter, according to sources close to the process. Those siblings felt pressured to vote yes. Ultimately, all 6 siblings voted to go along with the sale. According to ESPN's Baxter Holmes, the sale closed in late October 2025, with the siblings each pocketing about a $500 million after taxes. The agreement with Walter allowed Jeannie to remain governor of the franchise through 2030. She would have had 4 more seasons, but her other siblings were terminated from their positions with the Lakers in the ensuing months. Walter, the CEO and chair of diversified holding company TWG Global, ended up being the Lakers' majority owner for less than a year, as his bid was unanimously approved by the NBA, last October. Walter, who built his financial empire in the insurance industry, is under federal investigations for alleged tax fraud by other companies tied to the billionaire. And look, the way I look at it is Jeannie Buss sold out her father. She sold out her father's legacy for a check. In my video, when I was talking about, one of my subscribers said, should the Trump administration, the DOJ, investigate the NBA and Clutch and all? And that's just what I was saying was, I have a long-winded way of talking sometimes. Uh, that happens when you were a writer. When you write, you tend to, elaborate and be detail orientated. But and that's just what I was saying is, yeah, I agree that Trump and the DOJ should investigate the NBA and Clutch if this was a perfect world. Uh, but the problem is the formula that they're using, having this be a LeBron dominated NBA as far as what they pander or push or promote to the NBA, to the owners, is profitable. As long as LeBron James, who has powerful friends, as long as he remains profitable and in the good graces of the 30 people who own the NBA, because look at it like this. When Jerry Buss bought the Lakers in 1978, 1979. He purchased the team from Jack Kent Cooke for $67.5 million, right? He was not cash rich at the time. He had to borrow a lot of that from banks. Some of that was land, and the valuation was added to the deal, the valuation of the land as far as his net worth. He had to get his wife to sign off on some of the paperwork to get the money together. His dream was to own a franchise, not to just buy a team for the prestige of it, because my other billionaire friends have sports franchise, and I just want to have the prestige of being an owner, not for the, the tax deductible you get. What is it? Last time I saw a $40 million tax deductible you get for owning a franchise, probably higher than that now. It's not for all of that. It's he really, truly wanted to turn the Lakers around. And he did that. In the approximate 34 years, the 34 years that Jerry Buss was the principal owner of the Lakers, 34 years, going on 35 years when he died. They only missed the playoffs twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 1993, 94. I think it was that year. It was in the mid-90s and in the mid-2000s. Twice. He won 5 championships. 80, 82, 85, 87, 88, 2000, 2001, 2002 with Shaq and Kobe. That's another 8. And then with Kobe and Pau Gasol, 2009, 2010. So this guy won 10 championships under his reign. 10 real legitimate championships. When he told Red Auerbach, who's general manager of the Boston Celtics, who up until that point in time, Boston used to own the Lakers, we're going to kick your ass. Well, he meant it. Because after he bought the Lakers, Boston only won 4 more titles. 3 in the 80s. So I would say he was kicking Boston's ass. And don't get me wrong, the franchise thrived financially under Buss. Buss, who was in debt when he bought the team, had a net worth of $700 million when he died in February 2013. And the team was valued at $1 billion when he died. But see, this is why the league will never be investigated by Trump or whatever. There's too many billionaires who are getting rich off of this era. They don't care that the game has gone to shit. They don't care that it's unenjoyable to watch a 3-point contest. Nobody's playing defense. You got goddamn all-star game scores of people scoring 200 points in a game. They don't care that we're sick and tired of the media. They don't care that we're sick and tired of LeBron, the LeBron Fest at ESPN. They don't give a fuck about what we care about. What they care about is that since 2013, the Lakers' valuation has gone from $1 billion to $10 billion last year. Then when it gets sold this year, it's at $12.5 billion. The other owners, their net worths, their franchises, they've gone way up in the LeBron era. Not that ratings are going up so high, but all these TV deals, the NBA is a smash hit in China. And from a revenue standpoint, these owners are making a killing. They're making a killing. These franchises are making a killing. When Steve Ballmer purchased the Clippers, they were worth about $2 billion, right? Now they're worth $5 billion. To them, This shit going on right now, which is a clusterfuck to all of us, is working for them. Imagine if Donald Trump comes in and tries to investigate the NBA, and you got 30 owners with a total net worth of over $1 trillion. Do you really think Donald Trump wants to piss off those people? Many of them who donate hundreds of millions, if not overall over $1 billion or more to powerful politicians. Do you think he really want to upset those people? That's why I was like, it's not. I don't see them doing it. I don't see them. I don't see the DOJ getting involved in this. Yeah, Trump can't stand LeBron, but they'll get to him in another way. They'll get to him when he's not useful, when he retires. Then, if they want to get at him, they'll get at him in that way. I mean, that's just what I see. Okay, but getting back to my point, Jeannie Buss sold out her dad, man, for a check. I mean, because we all know she was a horrible owner. Whereas I just said when Jerry Buss was the owner, they only missed the playoffs twice in like 35 years. The Lakers missed the playoffs 7 fucking times in the 13 years that Jeannie Buss was the principal owner of the Lakers. 7 out of 13 fucking years. When Jerry Buss was the owner, the Lakers had a 63.1% win percentage. When Jeannie Buss was the principal owner, or including this past year, only a 46.2% win percentage. Swept in the playoffs multiple times. Won bubble title that no one respects. And, you know, she's always had the reputation of being something of an airhead. You know, and look, when we look at ESPN tomorrow, you're going to have all these analysts and all these people, these personalities are going to kiss Jeannie Buss's, you know, rather ample ass. And by the way, from what I understand, it was Donald Sterling that squeezed her ass when she became an owner, you know, back in 2013 and 14 when they had that owners meeting. You know, that's partially why that they got rid of him, because he was a piece of shit. But they had to set him up, and they used the race angle to get him out. You know, and plus the players hated him too. But yeah, man, she sold her father out for a check, man. She and the family, they sold her father out. They sold their father out for a check. Only took 13 years for the family to screw it up. Jerry Buss was the Lakers, man. I don't want to, you know, shortchange the players, but Jerry Buss was the one who headed the team that turned this Lakers franchise around from literally they were something of a joke. You gotta understand something. The Lakers organization, when they were in Minneapolis, they were the league's first dynasty. George Mikan won 5 championships when they were in Minneapolis. And it was Elgin Baylor who kept the franchise from folding. But even Elgin's greatness couldn't keep them from having to relocate because of financial problems to the West Coast. All right. And when Jerry West and Elgin Baylor were playing together, they did everything they could, but they couldn't win. It took acquiring Wilt Chamberlain just to get them to win one title, right? And then after that core retired, who they were already long in the tooth anyway, the Lakers are able to acquire Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but they struggled. And despite the greatness of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who by 1979 already had 5 league MVPs, but they were not an elite team. Now, granted, Jerry Buss coming in the door also coincided with the team acquiring Magic Johnson, but there was no sure thing that Magic was going to be a elite championship level player because the league had never seen anything like Magic before. And, you know, the scouting on Magic was, hey, man, this guy's 6'8", 6'9". He's going to have a high dribble. He's not going to be able to dribble against those elite guards. Are going to pick him apart. He's just not going to last. And obviously that was not the case. But Jerry Buss, man, they extended that greatness past the Showtime era. But he's also the one that got Jerry's Worthy, They got Michael Thompson. You know, Bob McAdoo played for the franchise. They acquired Vlade Divac. Uh, you know, uh, they had that memorable 1991 Finals run. Then, of course, the acquisition of Shaquille O'Neal that was huge back in the day. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When the Lakers traded Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant, that was not a very popular trade. Laker fans, and I remember that. Laker fans were livid because Vlade was a good center. He was a very popular player, very popular. He kept the franchise. He, along with Nick Van Exel, helped to keep the franchise afloat in between the Showtime, Magic, and Shaq and Kobe era. And so when they traded him, they're like, what the fuck is he doing? Why would you trade him for this 17-year-old kid? But they knew. They knew. So to me, when you're giving up on this franchise, you're giving up on your father's legacy. You're giving up on, what Bill Sharman did as a head coach and later as general manager of the team. You're giving up on what Jerry West, who, by the way, she disgraced by essentially making him persona non grata for the Lakers the last couple of years, taking away his what would you call it, his pass. I forgot exactly what you call it, but basically he wasn't able to go to games the way that he once was, right? I think it was a lifetime pass he had or something. They took it away from him, all because you didn't like certain things that he said. Disgraceful behavior by this woman, man. You know, but that's just my opinion, man. Tell me what you guys think.